Hello and welcome to Brock Built Stuff. My name is DJ and I'm building a case as a platform, and frankly I'm getting very close to done. Previous build logs I was covering how I got to the point I am today. This has been a long journey using a component called multiboard that I have modified for my own purposes. In general, to recap for those who haven't watched the other episodes in the series, this is a case as a platform. The whole purpose of this existing in the first place is to provide you, and really me, a case that can grow with our needs as we have them for our desktop computers. For me right now, space is my need, as I currently am in a 30 square foot maker space of sorts within my not much larger apartment. So I have to be very efficient on the space that my computer takes. As such though, I do eventually want to upgrade, say, my 6700 XT to, I don't know, a 7700 XTX, which will be a bigger graphics card. But I'm not there yet, and I want my case to be able to change with me as I get there, when I can afford it. So in that vein and in that ideology of building a case that can change with you and thus be a case as a platform, I've built this. So where is the case as a platform today? Well, as you can see in front of you, I've got most of the components in here. They mostly fit in there and are actually remarkably stable. One of the more interesting parts here is the back. So the back of this is really, really cool, where basically I ended up having to design specialty brackets to fit in the graphics card and keep the whole thing rigid. And it's shockingly rigid, all things given. C13 plugs, mini ITX motherboard, 2 to 3 slot graphics card. It's fantastic. Power supply is internally mounted up front for clean air intake, and then cable routed to the back. In general, this is the first time I've had all of these parts in this case. And shockingly, they fit really, really, really well. It's a really interesting design regarding how the plastic is holding together and how there are multiple methods of rigidity in multiple axes, all contributing to an oddly robust and oddly stiff piece of plastic that you wouldn't otherwise think should be. Something to keep in mind too, all of my multi-boards here are printed in PETg, so they are actually have more flex than a PLA part would, but they have a higher temperature tolerance and they don't succumb to mechanical creep when they are held in tension like they are in this case. Now there is one last thing to do before I call this case complete, and that is plug the power button in and actually turn it on. So let me take these side panels off here real quick. And here we have the inside of the case. As you can tell, things are, well, relatively well laid out. It gets a little wobbly when you take the top off, but in general, the core parts on the inside are very, very sturdily mounted actually. All right, let's plug this in. Okay, I think there we go. We have our power button, I think, plugged in correctly. Now, let's see if it boots. Never turned it off. Let's hit the power button and see. Good sign so far. We have fans spinning. We don't have any lights, which I think is fine. And oh, look at that! No keyboard detected. That's what I wanted. There we go. First boot. Case off because it's bad JoJo to have a fully sealed case, even though this thing is literally just holes. And there we go. Oh, cool. You can also see the red power button light. All the fans spinning in here, at least the ones that spin on boot. Now that I know the PC works, what would you like to see me test on it? I need to do a thermals test, but I'm honestly expecting this to be really similar to an open air build, because frankly, this thing's just entirely holes. But you let me know. Are you curious if it's gonna melt? I know I kind of am. I may need to play some Cyberpunk and really, really push this system to its absolute max. But if you have something else in mind, please let me know in the comments. I'm happy to test out just about anything you can think of. as long as it's not too expensive, because, you know, I'm not made of money. There we go. And see how much more rigid it is when you put all the bits on it? Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Oh yeah, look at those fans up here. If you have things you would like to see done to this case that I haven't done yet, or you think it'd just be cool to see in general, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I'm curious your thoughts. I will be probably reprinting all of these parts one more time and doing a final release video of a more colorful version. Right now I had a bunch of white and gray. This is what we ended up with. But in the end, there's some really cool color combinations because again, this is a case as a platform. Not only can you make it function the way you want it to, you can make it look the way you want it to. The sky's the limit. And I've got some pretty crazy colors laying around over there that I may try out and may pop a little. But until the release video, if you have any comments or questions or modifications you'd like to see sometime in the future, please let me know in the comments. And if you want to support this kind of work and projects that I've been working on like this and to work on like this, hit me up on Patreon. I would love to have a follow. I do try to update things there more often than not, though my note schedule has been tricky lately due to work. But until next time, keep on printing.